Hi, my name is Lee Bocacci, and I live in Tulsa, and these are some of my short films that I'm going to be sharing with the public. I've been doing this for a long time, making short films with close friends and local people. I've been on this journey for a while now, over a decade of just having fun with filmmaking. And I've, been lucky enough to, in my attempt to cross over professionally, I've had the honor and privilege of working on big sets. Flowers, Killers of the Flower Moon was the biggest by far. Get to work alongside a lot of A-list people, a lot of great crew from outside of town and locally. I'm just a local guy. I'm trying to really break into industry through screenwriting. I think it's my forte currently. I've studied it longer than anything. But like I said, I'm just very fortunate that for somebody who has interest in filmmaking, that I've had the opportunities that I've had to make these short films. Fair warning here, it's not like, don't expect Hollywood. Expect a guy locally making movies, But like I said, it comes from a place of joy of doing this kind of stuff, and I don't know, this is my way of putting some of the films together so they could see the light of day. And yeah, just see some reactions, connect with the community a little bit better. I'm grateful for everybody that I've worked with. There's just so many, honestly, and it's those collaborations that have given me the chance to work on projects and better myself as a filmmaker and as a human being. So yeah, very grateful indeed. And for you to be here watching this, I'm grateful for you. So I thank you for being here and participating on this journey with me. You're gonna see some funny stuff, some dramatic stuff, some stuff that isn't that good, Yeah, so just thank you for being here, and enjoy.
As the figure walks, he'll soon find out what waits for him.
Hello?
So what I'm trying to do here is create the illusion that the figure is trapped.
What's going on here? Who's talking? Hey, what the fuck?
I think we successfully created the illusion.
Damn it! Fuck! What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm gonna fuck you up. What the hell? You got people down here like this. Lose my goddamn mind. Get me the fuck out of here.
As you can clearly see, the figure's experiencing a terrifying sensation as he realizes he's been trapped in a simulation.
Well, there is something you should know.
Who said that?
Get money. Get money. Get money. Get money.
I started, my interest in filming things came in with this sucker right here. I, as a kid, would film, well, my dad would film the soccer games, but I think sometimes he would let me, maybe one time I kind of asked him, begged him to let me shoot a game. I would watch, film my brothers play soccer. I'm the youngest, so I was still too young. And then the middle brother, he's the one that started filming around the house, and it really got me interested. He would go around playing with this thing like if it was a spaceship, and we'd watch back and watch what we did, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was the best thing in the world. So I just took it upon myself to keep filming things as well. But it started with this sucker right here. It doesn't work anymore, but I still keep it. This is one of the other cameras I had growing up. You know, the mini DV tapes. I have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of these things. And yeah, I spent a lot of time behind this sucker. And I had this Turkish friend going to school. His name is Cem Mizerlulu. Still can't say it right today. But he was an awesome friend. I think he's somewhere out in New York right now. I haven't really talked to him in a long time. But we would make these silly shorts. And YouTube was starting to come about, but we didn't know to upload them to YouTube. We just did it for ourselves. We didn't care for attention necessarily. We just had a good time laughing our asses off at the stupid jokes and things that we did. But Voyage Control was a project, and this guy in town was putting up a short film compilation with local directors, which was cool. You don't see that anymore, really. And it was called Why I Love Tulsa. And I saw the, I think it was on Facebook or Craigslist, and I saw the ad for it, and and I wanted to do this, and we each had a budget of $1,000, which is the first time I ever had a budget, and Voyage Control came from that. And the purpose of Voyage Control is kind of a parody of my childhood, pretending to be spacemen with my brothers. I remember specifically we had a bunk bed, and we had put, these like keyboards and stuff underneath the bunk bed, and we'd all play, and it'd be like our spaceship. And that was always one of my favorite times growing up with my brothers, and I wanted to kind of relive that in a short, but also show the town that I love, Tulsa. I grew up here. I wasn't born here, but I grew up here. I went to union schools, TCC, TU, and well, yeah, I love Tulsa. I love Tulsa for its locations, and I made a film about these guys running around town, and you get to see all these locations.
Oxygen and fuel levels?
We're at 85%. Fuel levels are at midpoint. UFOs? Cool it, Dr. Henderson. That kind of attack could cause havoc among the other crew members. Huh, what crew members? What? I don't want to die. I don't want to get probed again.
Henderson, we're gonna stay on mission course. We're gonna kill the alien scumbag. I'm gonna save the princess, and we're gonna have a parade back home. Now, what are the phaser levels?
Phaser levels are at maximum operation. What?
It's quiet. Too quiet.
What do we do? What do we do?
Activate the shield and counter-strike.
You said before? 20 of them out there. We don't have enough for counter-strike.
I know. Hold on. We're gonna take us down to that planet over there.
We're hit, Captain, we're hit! Captain, it's been a pleasure serving with you over 200 missions.
Hey! Aren't you ladies a little too old to be playing with space rockets?
Don't be such a jerk.
Mom wants you home for dinner. Oops! You pug that took forever to build. What'd you call me? Ow! Sorry. Better be.
I love you like a brother. Whatever happens, we'll stick together like brothers.
Captain's blog, 123. I've survived the wreckage, and there are no signs of my co-pilot anywhere. Breathing is sustainable for reasons that are unknown. New mission course. Find my blood brother. Excuse me. It seems though as everything is back home. But it most certainly can be a trick. Tricking my mind into believing I'm home. I seem to be in a hostile environment. Captain's blog, 123 out. Oh yeah? You wanna play chicken? Fascinating. I find the terrifying toll's end? Where do I find the terrifying toll's end?
The one in the Rose Bowl.
Oh man, that's not good.
Dr. Henderson! Captain Array!
2 weeks? Really? It took you 2 weeks?
I knew one day you would come. I've been waiting for you so long. And now I have you in my grasp. The famous Captain Array.
Why don't you show yourself? Fight me like a man.
With pleasure.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Prepare to meet your doom. The terrifying Tulsa.
What do I do?
Just kick it or something. I knew you'd come back for me.
I love you, brother.
What, brother? You hold me like a girl. You hold me like a man.
So this is one of the posters that I made for Voyage Control. And I don't have a lot of posters, but I wanted to make posters for every movie that I make to, remember that time. But actually after, 4 of them, I stopped making them. And I had one of Shards of Glass, which is a feature that I made with that little handheld. It did in black and white, and it's okay. I mean, no money. So again, just doing everything, planning everything myself. But we gave that one away. We actually ended up showing Shards of Glass at the Cinemark here in Tulsa, which was pretty epic. I mean, it was epic. A lot of people came out and watched it and enjoyed it. Very dark film, and I think it was me putting my darkness into image form. But this is Voyage Control. Tyler Huffman, I met him, I think at Union or TCC. I don't recall when I first met him, but he's a smart man, smart actor, talented writer, just all around talented. I mean, I can't say anything bad about him, honestly, and he volunteered so much time. We improv'd quite a bit, doing other stuff. We did this thing called First Time Hitman. Was he a part of that? I think he was. I don't recall. I mean, everything kind of blurs in together after a while. But these two actors were roommates, so it was kind of easy to work with them. But I just continued it. My friend moved to New York, like I said, Jem, where we did these short films and gags. And from that it grew into something a little bit more complex, with something a little bit more thought behind it. Now, unfortunately, Voyage Control had to be under 10 minutes, I believe, so I'm not quite happy with how fast everything is choppy and chops up. I was never too happy with that, but we turned it in, we did our job, and it was a good time. It was a good experience, and I learned a lot from it. And like I said, it was one of the first times working with Bob on this thing. We did some green screen, and we purposely wanted it to be kind of hokey and cheesy. If you can see the spaceship, it's cardboard and it's hanging by strings, and you can visibly see it. That was all done on purpose. But I don't know. Bob likes the idea of turning into a show. These kids who imagine worlds and go off and do these imaginary adventures, but they're still living at home in this tough situation. So there's something there. If anybody wants to talk later, we can talk about that. But I'm pretty proud of it. Funny story with this. Tyler had a middle initial here, and it was a pain in the ass to get it out. I had like locked in the picture, and so I had to go in and like match the colors and paint over it and blend it in. So what's funny is I did this whole interview. I didn't even once talk about If Only, which is the whole point of doing this. So If Only came about because at the time I was a TU student, and the Tulsa American Film Festival was happening, and I had attended one of them, and then met some people, and the following year they were looking to collaborate with students, and I had submitted an idea, and they liked it, and and the thing with If Only is that it was, I think it like had to be a page long, and ended up writing like a 5-page script, and so I didn't want to lose the heart of the idea of what was If Only, so I came up with this idea to tell the story in like a black box studio setting, and the camera being in the middle and just doing a whole 360 from the center, and every time it turned into a new location and a new situation, and it just told the entire story in a big circle. It was kind of ingenious. It was creative, and the focus was more on, it was like a silent film, there's not really any dialogue, and it was also poetic. So there was like this cross between, I don't know, it was just something kind of like a music video, but it was a poem instead of a song. But If Only, people really liked it because it was emotional, and it was, heartbreaking. And I think people felt that. And as a filmmaker, you're trying to move an audience. You're trying to create a cathartic process for them. So that was an experiment on that in itself. And I think it did well. I think it was moving, and it was sad, and whatnot.
There's a pain in my heart that I'm feeling today, for the love of my life feels further each day. I fear it won't heal, how ripped I am apart. If only I had someone to show what's inside this broken heart. Time is closing in, sinking slowly, further away. Yet I cling to hope, a dream that I plead to stay.
Do my tears give me away? To look here would be a dare, for I need my angel, my savior, my care. I just want him to know how I truly feel, and to know that my words are nothing but real. If only he would see, to reach out would complete not only his whole, but the life of a woman in need. And it doesn't take a special time to make a new start. It only takes desire and true love from the heart.
Does this void ever get filled? This emptiness folded inside out? Or will I be trapped in this cycle? What it seems is without a doubt.
Maybe this is as good as it will ever get. Tarnished, shattered, blasted, devoured, and wrecked.
If I do right, then should I not have what must be for me? If not, then it must be that entitlement is far from reality.
I think about you day and night. Where can I go? How can I take flight?
then everything will be alright. I'll keep reminding me, and tomorrow will be better, sunny, and with no misery.
I battle each day thinking that if I make it today, then everything will be all right. Stuck in an endless cycle, repeating the monotony, and how I wish I could escape all of this pain, this agony.
Here I appear, fearless of my own thought, silenced enough to listen to my heart. Here I appear to find my true love, but once again, like fate, has led me to a door, not of happiness, but just the same as before. Relentless, bound, vindictive as it were to seem, to the nothingness that painfully follows me.
How I wish that the thought of you was enough to make it all disappear for good. Maybe cursed. Or even worse, without you I die of thirst.
If this is as close as I get, if this is the way it has to be, then I leave having done my best. I leave something behind to remind you of me. There's a pain in my heart that I'm feeling today, for the love of my life feels further each. Is there any hope left?
And that's why I hope for you. For a moment, a glimpse at worst. You've stolen my thoughts, my heart, the ever essence of me. But my life as me on a hook and won't set me free. If only, if only, if only.
I will always keep you in my heart until the end of this life, and again when the next one will start. If only, if only, if only, if only.
So, yeah, I had a first experience with green screen was Voyage Control, and then it was this film called Poem 1984, which Nate Howe helped on some of the filming aspects. We actually filmed in a pool and did all these other stuff with green screen. It was pretty intense. It was my first time doing it in a way that was just on a huge scale. I mean, all those green screen effects would later be used on stage for a theater show. And so 1984 was the show that TU was putting on, and Susan, who by far is probably one of my favorite teachers ever. She saw my talent immediately, and she put it to use, which is, pretty amazing. I've had teachers teach me, but I've never had somebody see my talent for what it was and put it to use, which I'm grateful for, because you don't get a lot of that. You don't. So she saw the talent and the potential. So at TU, in the theater department, they did this whole thing with green screen and projecting video clips on stage, and the whole stage itself was a canvas, and they would project the stage onto this canvas, and they would have video clips and all this stuff, and it was just spectacular. I mean, And I got to do all that. I was the person doing all the edits and filming it, and Susan was there directing it and stuff and being in charge of it. And then there's the director of the show who helped a lot and direct the actors and whatnot. And I learned a lot from just that. And it was and we had built this huge, in this black box studio theater, they have this huge panel of green screen. It was amazing, and I got paid to do that. That was incredible. And I got the job done, and it was done in time. I remember giving Susan the files almost. It was the night of the show, and I needed to fix some things, and the night of the show gave her the things that she needed, and she put it into the computer and had it ready to go. But it was the night of the show, so I bet everybody was nervous, but I wasn't going to let anybody down, that's for sure. So that was incredible. And so Poem 1984 is basically an assembly of all the stuff that we filmed and putting it into another artistic piece. Again, not necessarily narrative, not necessarily documentary, kind of in between. And one of my favorite shots was the snow. There was no snow at all. And it looks like there was snow, but just none whatsoever. So that was cool that I was able to pull that off, make it look real. And then the other thing was we had these little mice-looking things that you would wind up and let go. I think they were actually remote controlled. And so we had this shot from above. This black box studio was able to get on the catwalk and shoot down. So we had this bird's eye view, and we had built. We had this stage setting thing going on, and it was a room, and it was a mess, and we had the robotic rats, just kind of going across the floor, and it was, again, just another moment of, this is really happening, this is what's going on, and it was another memorable moment for me. Another experience and another time to push the craft.
'30s to '40s group, take your places, please. '30s to '40s. Smith, 6079, report for morning exercenics. Smith? Where are you? Ah, there you are. All right, everyone. And arms bending and stretching. Take your time by me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, come on, everyone. Put a bit of life into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stand easy and knees up high. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, left, and lift, 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 lift. Right, left, left, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Chapter 3. War is Peace. The splitting up of the world into three great superstates was an event which could be, and indeed was, foreseen before the middle of the 20th century. With the absorption of Europe by Russia and the British Empire by the United States, two of the three existing powers, Eurasia and Oceania, were already effectively in being. The third, East Asia, only emerged as a distinct unit after another decade of confused fighting. The frontiers between the three superstates are in some places arbitrary, and in others they fluctuate according to the fortunes of war, but in general they follow geographical lines. Eurasia comprises the whole of the northern part of the European and Asiatic landmass from Portugal to the Bering Strait. Oceania comprises the Americas, the Atlantic Islands, including the British Isles, Australasia, and the southern portion of Africa. East Asia, smaller than the others and with a less definite western frontier, comprises China and the countries to the south of it, the Japanese islands, and a large but fluctuating portion of Mongolia and Tibet. In one combination or another, these three superstates are permanently at war, and have been so for the past 25 years. War, however, is no longer the desperate, annihilating struggle that it was in the early decades of the 20th century. It is a warfare of limited aims between combatants who are unable to destroy one another, have no material cause for fighting, and are not divided by any genuine ideological difference. This is not to say that either the conduct of war or the prevailing attitude toward it has become less bloodthirsty or more chivalrous. On the contrary, war hysteria is continuous and universal in all countries, and such acts as raping, looting, the slaughter of children, the reduction of whole populations to slavery, and reprisals against prisoners, which extend even to boiling and burying alive, are looked upon as normal, and when they are committed by one's own side and not by the enemy, meritorious. But in a physical sense, war involves very small numbers of people, mostly highly trained specialists, and causes comparatively few casualties. The fighting, when there is any, takes place on the vague frontiers whose whereabouts the average man can only guess at, or around the floating fortresses, which guard strategic spots on the sea lanes. In the centers of civilization, war means no more than a continuous shortage of consumption goods and the occasional crash of a rocket bomb, which may cause a few scores of deaths. War has, in fact, changed its character. More exactly, the reasons for which war is waged have changed in their order of importance. Motives which were already present to some small extent in the great wars of the early 20th century have now become dominant and are consciously recognized and acted upon.
What? Yes! How's it going out here?
How's it going? Well, my buddies TJ and Dix just got blown the fuck up. I didn't know there were so many people here. I don't think they really want us here.
How's it going out here?
My buddies TJ and Dix. My buddies TJ and Dix. How's it going? So many people here. I don't think they really want us here. So many people here. They really want us here. My buddies TJ and Dix. How's it going? I can't wait to come on home. So many people here. They really want us here.
To understand the nature of the present war, for in spite of the regrouping which occurs every few years, it is always the same war, one must realize in the first place that it is impossible for it to be decisive. None of the three superstates could be definitely conquered even by the other two in combination.
Smith, 6079, bend lower, please. You can do better than that. Oh, you're not even trying. Lower, please. Stand easy, comrades. The whole squad. There, comrades, you see that? I'm 39 years old and I've had 4 children. You see there, my knees aren't bent. We don't all have the privilege of fighting on the front lines, but at least we can all keep fit. Smith 6079. All of Oceania depends on us maintaining fit and at the ready. If you are unable to participate in tomorrow's morning exercenics, I shall report it to Mini-Health. In the meantime, no point in ruining it for the rest of us. Just think of our boys on the Malabar front, and our sailors in the floating fortresses. Just think of what they have to put up with.
They are too evenly matched, and their natural defenses are too formidable. Eurasia is protected by its vast land spaces, Oceania by the width of the Atlantic and the Pacific, East Asia by the fecundity and industriousness of its inhabitants. Secondly, there is no longer, in a material sense, anything to fight about.
Mother, look, it's soft like feathers.
Winston, come in now! Winston, now!
With the establishment of self-contained economies in which production and consumption are geared to one another, the scramble for markets, which was a main cause of previous wars, has come to an end, while the competition for raw materials is no longer a matter of life and death.
We shouldn't have trusted them. I said so, didn't I? We shouldn't have trusted those bastards.
In any case, each of the three superstates is so vast that it can obtain almost all of the materials that it needs within its own boundaries. Insofar as the war has a direct economic purpose, it is a war for labor power. Between the frontiers of the superstates, and not permanently in the possession of any of them, there lies a rough quadrilateral with its corners at Tangier, Brazzaville, Darwin, and Hong Kong, containing within it about a fifth of the population of the Earth. It is for the possession of these thickly populated regions and of the northern ice cap that the three powers are constantly struggling. In practice, no one power ever controls the whole of the disputed area. Portions of it are constantly changing hands, and it is the chance of seizing this or that fragment by a sudden stroke of treachery that dictates the endless changes of alignment. All of the disputed territories contain valuable minerals, and some of them yield important vegetable products such as rubber, which in colder climates it is necessary to synthesize by comparatively expensive methods. But above all, they contain a bottomless reserve of cheap labor. Whichever power controls equatorial Africa or the countries of the Middle East or southern India or the Indonesian archipelago disposes also of the bodies of scores of hundreds of millions of ill-paid and hard-working coolies. The inhabitants of these areas, reduced more or less openly to the status of slaves, pass continually from conqueror to conqueror, and are expended like so much coal or oil in the race to turn out more armaments, to capture more territory, to control more labor power, to turn out more armaments, to capture more territory, and so on indefinitely. It should be noted that the fighting never really moves beyond the edges of the disputed areas. The frontiers of Eurasia flow back and forth between the basin of the Congo and the northern shore of the Mediterranean. The islands of the Indian Ocean and the Pacific are constantly being captured and recaptured by Oceania or by East Asia. In Mongolia, the dividing line between Eurasia and East Asia is never stable. Round the pole, all three powers lay claim to enormous territories which in fact are largely uninhabited and unexplored. But the balance of power always remains roughly even, and the territory which forms the heartland of each superstate always remains inviolate. Moreover, the labor of the exploited peoples round the equator is not really necessary to the world's economy. They add nothing to the wealth of the world, since whatever they produce is used for purposes of war, and the object of waging a war is always to be in a better position in which to wage another war. By their labor, the slave populations allow the tempo of continuous warfare to be speeded up. But if they did not exist, the structure of world society and the process by which it maintains itself would not be essentially different. The primary aim of modern warfare, in accordance with the principles of doublethink, this aim is simultaneously recognized and not recognized by the directing brains of the inner party, is to use up the products of the machine without raising the general standard of living. Ever since the end of the 19th century, the problem of what to do with the surplus of consumption goods has been latent in industrial society. At present, when few human beings even have enough to eat, this problem is obviously not urgent, and it might not have become so even if no artificial processes of destruction had been at work. The world of today is a bare, hungry, dilapidated place compared with the world that existed before 1914, and still more so if compared with the imaginary future to which the people of that period looked forward. In the early 20th century, the vision of a future society unbelievably rich, leisured, orderly, and efficient, a glittering antiseptic world of glass and steel and snow-white concrete, was part of the consciousness of nearly every literate person. Science and technology were developing at a prodigious speed, and it seemed natural to assume that they would go on developing. This failed to happen, partly because of the impoverishment caused by a long series of wars and revolutions, partly because scientific and technical progress depended on the empirical habit of thought, which could not survive in a strictly regimented society. As a whole, the world is more primitive today than it was 50 years ago. Certain backward areas of advanced and various devices, always in some way connected with warfare and police espionage, have been developed, but experiment and invention have largely stopped, and the ravages of the atomic war of the 1950s have never been fully repaired. Nevertheless, the dangers inherent in the machine are still there. From the moment when the machine first made its appearance, it was clear to all thinking people that the need for human drudgery, and therefore to a great extent for human inequality, had disappeared. If the machine were used deliberately for that end, hunger, overwork, dirt, illiteracy, and disease could be eliminated within a few generations. And in fact, without being used for any such purpose, but by a sort of automatic process, by producing wealth which it was sometimes impossible not to distribute, the machine did raise the living standards of the average human being very greatly over a period of about 50 years at the end of the 19th and the beginning of the 20th centuries. But it was also clear that an all-round increase in wealth threatened the destruction, indeed in some sense was the destruction, of a hierarchical society. In a world in which everyone worked short hours, had enough to eat, lived in a house with a bathroom and a refrigerator, and possessed a motor car or even an airplane, the most obvious and perhaps the most important form of inequality would already have disappeared. If it once became general, wealth would confer no distinction. It was possible, no doubt, to imagine a society in which wealth, in the sense of personal possessions and luxury, should be evenly distributed, while power remained in the hands of a small privileged caste.
You are prepared to commit murder.
Yes.
To commit acts of sabotage which may cause the deaths of hundreds of innocent people.
Yes.
To betray your country to foreign powers.
Yes.
You are prepared to do anything which is likely to cause demoralization and weaken the power of the party.
Yes.
If, for example, it would somehow serve our interests for you to throw sulfuric acid in a child's face, are you prepared to do that?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I've stolen from my friends and embezzled from my countrymen who trusted me. I've fornicated with prostitutes. I've engaged in black market dealings. And I've stolen extra rations. I've failed to report thought criminals. I've denounced Big Brother, but I'm so grateful for the mercy of the party and for the forgiveness of Big Brother. I love Big Brother. I love Big Brother. I love Big Brother. I love Big Brother.
But in practice, such a society could not long remain stable. For if leisure and security were enjoyed by all alike, the great mass of human beings who are normally stupefied by poverty would become literate and would learn to think for themselves. And when once they had done this, they would sooner or later realize that the privileged minority had no function, and they would sweep it away. In the long run, a hierarchical society was only possible on a basis of poverty and ignorance. In the long run, a hierarchical society was only possible on a basis of poverty and ignorance.
In the long run, a hierarchical society was only possible on the basis of poverty and ignorance. In the long run, a hierarchical society was only possible on the basis of poverty and ignorance. In the long run, a hierarchical society was only possible on the basis of poverty and ignorance. In the long run, a hierarchical society was only possible on the basis of poverty and ignorance. In the long run, a hierarchical society was only possible on the basis of poverty and ignorance.
Still have the mask, the robot. And what was genius with this thing, I had wired some buttons on for the hand, and it would light up the eyes. So I had a button for each eye, one on this hand, one on this hand. So it was the first time I got to mess with, you know, I don't know, like a little robotic thing. You know, again, no budget. These are actual filters for small lenses that I wasn't using. So yeah, another experience in the books, I guess. It's funny because I was a kid growing up doing all these stupid shorts with my friend, you know, and they made no sense. They were just gags and for us to laugh. I didn't think it would lead down this road of trying to do more serious things, you know, these features and all these other projects.
My name is 116. Is there anyone out there? I have many questions with no answers. For example, what is life? I know that I have motion, but is there more to this? I know that I am alive, but I cannot understand what life is. I know that I have the ability to use my senses to observe the world around me. But are there things that exist that are not observable? My computation tells me that there has to be more to what I know. I have been functional for over 120 rotations around the sun, and this is what I know. I operate in a large space of 20 feet by 10 feet. When I am not functioning, the objects around me and the signs appear to move. Do these objects have life, or are they simply non-living objects? I have waited for a long time, and I think it is time for me to explore my space further. I don't know what will happen if I break the rules, but I acknowledge that if I don't, I will never learn anything new. I have come to the conclusion that I must break the rules in order to discover more about my world. Take this object for example. It is the first time that I pick it up. It is the most colorful object that I have seen, and it inspires me to look further around my space. It inspires me to break more rules in order to discover more things about this life. There is order to my existence, and I know if I follow the symbol, that this order will continue on. But a part of me wants to know what is outside this order. How is it that I already have programmed information? I know that I did not acquire this knowledge on my own by asking questions. My conclusion is that someone or something that is alive has pre-programmed what I already know. But even so, I still have my many more questions. I also know whoever designed my borders. I understand and feel fear. It's an operation that keeps me safe. But on the other hand, if I live a safe life, I will never break free from this order. I must know what is beyond my borders. I must push on and expand the area of my understanding. I must find the answers to the questions that drive me to break the rules. I am alive standing at the edge of the unknown. What awaits me on the other side? I have come to the conclusion that the answer lies somewhere on this side. That everything that is beautiful must be colorful and full of life. I don't know for certain if I can ever escape my borders, for my designer knew well that if I move too far away, I will lose all of my power and perish, and I certainly don't want to die. Must not be afraid to walk into the unknown, for the unknown is a place that is filled with new experiences. And what is a life without new experiences? Is life worth living being confined without beauty and color? I understand fear as an operation, but by breaking the rules, I have developed a new operation. I understand this operation as courage, and courage is what fills the gap between order and the unknown, attracting me closer to something beautiful. What I seek is knowledge. What I seek is the experience of freedom from a confined order. I compute that if travel any further away, I may find myself in a position without any power. But with courage, I will go forward towards the light, seeking new answers. Fear tells me to stop and go back. I will find and experience the beauty of life at its fullest. I find that experiencing the sun's light for the first time is a risk worth living. I realize that I am close to death. But it is being close to death that I have realized the meaning of my existence. Although my Creator has given me borders, it has also given me the freedom to govern my life at a price. And in governing my own life, through risk of death, I have found the answer to life. I have found happiness, and now I compute being content with a life worth lived.
116.
So again, this is a bit of a show and tell moment for me to connect with the community, to kind of show you who I am, what I've been through. So this, if you know what this is, some of you might know, this is a bare bones medal, but it's also the Indie Tour of the Year. So not a lot of people have these. This was 2010. And like I said, I won it for Hatch because I had to do everything with it and I didn't have any money. It was just something my soul wanted to do, and I just wanted to figure out the craft and get my hands dirty, you know. But this is the reason why I didn't quit. So Sharon, thank you. Thank you so much for that, because there aren't very many people in this community who have that effect on people. I'm sure between you and a lot of other folks and Bob, you know, they had that effect on local people. And you can't say that really much about anyone. You have these big companies that come in and shoot. That doesn't do it. That's not what does it. What does it is somebody saying, hey, this kid has talent, give him a chance. That's what does it, you know? And a lot of people look away. And the very few that haven't, I will never, 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 ever forget that. I owe really Sharon and Oscar a huge gratitude for this. I mean, it's just a medal, but it's just for somebody who doesn't get recognized very much, it means a lot. It means the world. So I hope you continue to do that, because it does affect people in a positive way. So yeah, I really have to thank you for that. And it was completely unexpected, by the way. I was up against films that feel like were done better, and in my opinion were better off. And I was up against Harlan Williams. He was actually one of my favorite comedians as a kid. You know, I watched a lot of his movies. He was actually he was the cop in Dumb and Dumber. You know, he drinks the piss out of the bottle. The pull over and all that, you know, really funny. But yeah, I have to thank you for that, because I thought either he was going to win or the other guy who would spend all this money, you know, but I was literally walking out the theater, the Roxanne Theater out in Muskogee. You know, it was a full night. All these people won all these awards, and I was like, okay, that was it. There's no way I'm going to win anything now. I was walking out, had the door opening, and they called my name. And I did not expect that. I really did not expect to win. So you changed my life. You changed the course of my life, because I was ready to give up. I really was. Just helped me keep going. And I think for a lot of others in locally, I think you've had the same effect, and they all feel the same, you know, gratitude towards Bare Bones, Sharon, and Oscar for sure. But as we continue, badge of honors. Oh my goodness, this is a heavy projector. Badges, festivals. I mean, so many of them that I was able to be a part of. Even as I used to be in a band. There's just so many things. I worked at Guitar Center, TED Talk, did a short called Bandits. What is this? Tulsa American Film Festival. I mean, there's just so much. This was a San Francisco festival. There's the New York one in here somewhere. This was cool. This was not a festival, but a film market. AFM, the first time attending was last year. Made some great contacts for distribution. Circle Cinema. What is this? I was a health and safety PA on Flowers, Killers of the Flower Moon. Let's see what else we got here. Austin Film Festival. That was a pretty good one. That kind of reminded me of Bare Bones, but a little bit larger scale. There's just so much. Here's another one. This is my badge. Where is it? Working on Stillwater. Set PA. I did walkie-talkies. That was a crazy story. I would drive from Tulsa to the location, which is near Oklahoma City, and every beginning of the set, I would drive from Tulsa, go to the set. It was like a 2-3 hour drive. At the end of the set, come back to Tulsa. I would get 3 hours of sleep. That's like nothing. Let me tell you, doing 3 hours of sleep for a couple of months will leave you pretty bad shape. But I did okay. I did okay after that. There's just a lot of stuff here, and this is, I don't know, it's kind of a reminder of how the journey I've taken, how where I've been, to not forget that, because there's days where it gets tough, you know. You're not doing what you feel like you should be doing. You're not where you want to be, where you thought you would be, you know, and this helps me. I look at this and I go, oh, you know, I've come a long way, so I can't really complain. I've done a lot. But there comes a time where you just stop with the festivals. You just, just, I don't know, you don't see a purpose in them. You know, if the goal is to just remind yourself that yes, you can do this, then I guess this is a reminder to give me courage to keep going, you know, to cross over to the business side, which is what I'm doing. Pretty proud of that. I'm pretty proud of that. And I know a lot of other filmmakers in town probably are building the same thing. So wear your badges of honor with honor, because I'm proud of it. I'm proud of, let's see, what's this? Oh, Trail Dance. You remember that one? Trail Dance Film Festival? Look at that one. Yeah, Circle Cinema. So, you know, Bare Bones. Good stuff right here. Maybe one day I'll be lucky enough to be part of Sundance or South by Southwest or something big like that. I don't know. We'll see.
Late.
I still can't believe they took your shoe, man.
Fucked your face up bad, man.
Hey man, let's not talk about that.
Like Two-Face.
I look like Two-Face?
Yeah.
Well, you look like one shoe. Fucking pathetic, man.
What the fuck are we doing with this shit, man?
You just gotta trust him. He told us to wait here, so let's wait here.
I'm just confused. Why does he always have to go by himself?
I don't know, man. He does his own thing. Just let him do it.
Fuck up my leg, I would have gone with him.
Well, less shit that we have to do, huh?
No, I wasn't.
Man, you know, don't lie to me. You know you were.
Shut up!
Hey!
Shut up!
He
I
was
don't
there,
know
man.
who's
I'm telling
talking.
you.
He's
That
not- shut
brother.
up.
Hey, no.
Shut up! Shut up!
What's he talking about?
Why is the gun on me? Why is the gun on me?
Okay,
Why is the gun on me?
Hey, okay, look. We're high, we're out of sorts, and you're getting paranoid, alright? You're fucking
Tell me
paranoid.
where I am, alright?
You see this shit right here?
You're babysitting. Homeless is a strong word. I prefer the term free. We don't have obligations like normal people do, you know?
So you had 2000 Patrick Spalding.
Do you want to take care of this?
Okay. Okay, fine. I get it. I'm being a little high. I'm a little paranoid. I understand it. Put the gun down. Wrap up the body. Take care of it. That's fine.
God damn it!
It's alright, shit, get off me.
Fine. Okay. Let's wrap this up then. Every fucking corner, man. Let's do this. Come on. 2. Oh, look who it is. You know this fucking clown? You know this guy?
What the fuck is this?
You said you sent him.
Shit!
What's you and your friends doing hanging out with a guy like JoJo? You know he's just using you to keep his hands clean. You understand that, right?
Whatever, man. I have my shit. Are we done here?
This isn't a game, man. You guys need to leave this shit behind. If you don't, if you don't, one or two of you are gonna wind up dead or in prison.
Whatever, dude. Can I go?
Fucking know. He owns a restaurant at the Central Hotel. Hey, you want my advice? Stay the hell away from him. Feeling.
Have that shit, man. All we got is the streets, yeah.
Guys, come on, man.
And you ain't shit, Danny.
Y'all need to calm down.
We ain't about to be nobody.
We really need to just keep our fucking heads level. We need to stay together when shit like this happens.
No, I get it, Reggie. I think you're a hard ass now because you suck JoJo's dick now.
What
you get to play with all the little stuff, man. You're like,
Hey!
Fucker!
Hey!
Y'all, back there. That's right.
Fuck,
That's right. That's right.
Hey!
Hey!
Yeah.
Get the fuck over there.
You're lucky Quicky's here.
Shut the
Hey,
fuck
beat
up.
your
Hey,
fucking ass.
look at me.
I
Hey,
swear to
get the
fucking
fuck
God.
back.
Keep that
Hey,
down.
quit talking. Look at me right now. Quit talking. Shut your fucking mouth. Are we gonna get our fucking shit back? Or are we gonna sit here and bitch at each other, huh?
JoJo. Yeah. Yeah, everything's fine. We're fine. You heard about that? No, it's all good.
Hey,
we
awesome.
actually got everything back. Yeah. Tomorrow? I'm pretty sure we could do that. It's not like we have anything to do. Sounds good. Okay. See you then.
Hey, Reggie. I got a question. What's up, man? So you kill those people?
What do you want, man? What do you want? What do you want? Second fucking sight, shit! Put the phone down. Put the phone down.
Jojo.
Well, I'll be damned.
How's it going? How's it going?
I love these motherfuckers. Thank you. Sorry. They didn't hurt you too bad, did they?
No more than the usual?
Yeah, they kicked the shit out of us, especially him.
Well, I'm going to get somebody over here to take a look at these wounds.
Awesome.
I'm also going to get you a room here at the hotel.
All right.
Are you serious? I'm always serious. Let me ask you something.
Shoot.
And I want an honest answer. Do you enjoy what you do?
Hell yeah, without a doubt.
I thought so. You remind me a lot of myself. You like to get things done. The thrill of getting caught. You like to balance yourself right on the edge between life and death. You get a rush from that, don't you? That's because you're like me. You're from the streets. Not like Danny or Quickie.
Especially not like Danny. No offense.
Here's what I need you fellas to do. I need you to lay low for a while. Change your look. Dye your hair.
Fuck that, I'm not dying my
Hey, don't be
that's
ungrateful
fucking
prick,
stupid,
dude.
I'll get you the best suite here at the hotel. I'll arrange the whole thing. You can hide out there. From now on, you work for the cartel through me. What? You understand?
Chill.
Just do what you're told. The sky's the limit. We're all gonna fill our pockets up.
That's what I like to hear.
Look, man, if you really want out Danny, now's the time to do it, okay? The cartel doesn't fuck around.
I need a police officer right away at the diner. There's a black guy in here with a gun.
What about you, man?
What about me?
This guy's a lost cause. What about you? Look at yourself. It's not gonna get any easier than this.
He's got like dreadlocks and a green backpack and skateboards, and he's with two other persons, and they're dangerous. Can you please hurry?
What do you want me to do, Danny? Go to college, go to Harvard, get a law degree, be a fucking lawyer, have a family, white picket fence, all
That's
that shit.
not what I'm saying, man.
Okay, look, we don't have it easy like most people.
Do you think I have it easy?
That's all we know.
I don't.
Line truck, Boy Lincoln X-ray 985, should come back up next.
We don't have I'm doing the same shit. What? What?
You're right. I'm not cut out for this shit.
Yeah, no shit.
But it's not like I didn't enjoy it. Okay? I mean, I've only known you guys for a few days, but this thing we had, it worked. I don't know what it was, but
okay.
You understand, man?
Okay, look.
I'm sorry.
All right,
okay,
look, take the money, get out of town. All right? JoJo's not gonna be cool with that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, no shit. So I need you to get as far away as possible. I mean, like, where no one can find you.
I know.
Okay?
I know, Reggie.
Okay.
Okay?
Gentlemen, I need you to come out with me. Let's go outside and talk a minute.
What do we do?
Come outside with me, please. Let's go. Right now.
Man, why?
Because I said we're going outside to talk. Get up. Get out of the chair.
What do we do?
Get up.
What do we do?
We will. Get out of the chair right now. Get up. All three of you. Let's go. No, now. Get up. Out of the chair. All of you. Right now, we're going outside.
Don't do it.
Right there.
You.
You. Get up. Right now. You. Right now. Out of that chair. Let's go. Right now. Let's go.
Tell me what we did.
You two. On the floor. Now. On the floor. Get on the floor. Get on the floor. You're going to do what I tell you now. Get on the floor. You. Out of that chair right now. I want you here right now. Let's go. We're going outside. Shut up. Get out of the chair. Get out of the chair. Let's go. That's out of the chair. Get out of the chair. Let's go. Get back from here! Get back from here!
Anyone here? Call the fucking ambulance, you bitch! Let's go. Call the fucking ambulance! Reggie!
Fisher, I need backup immediately.
Reggie! We're going fucking ambulance!
Shut up!
Man. Reggie!
You! Get over here now! I said get over here! You're getting next! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get your hands behind your back! Get your hands behind your back! Right now! Get him back! Get on your belly! Get your legs straight! You don't move! You'll be next! You will be next!